everyone to another Chat with Charnie. Today we're continuing with our series, CASA, How Did You Do It? Today's guest is a fellow YouTuber, Ntao M, and I'm so excited for you to learn about her journey. Welcome, Ntao, to Chats with Charnie. Please tell us a bit more about yourself, how long you've been qualified for, where are you in the world, and what is your current job title?
Hi, Charnie. Like you said, my name is Ntao. I am a chartered accountant. I actually qualified at the end of 2019. So December this year makes it 2 years of being a chartered accountant. It still feels so insane to say that, but I'm located in Johannesburg and I am a consultant for a firm in the US, in San Francisco. And I work in the technical accounting space and IPO readiness.
Oh, lovely. I know that technical accounting is not something that we've all had experience in because it's just been audits. I'm sure that you're learning so much in that role. I know that you also said that it's just crazy to think that you've been a chartered accountant for 2 years. So tell us, where did the desire come from to be a chartered accountant? How did it start?
So I wish I could give you the conventional chartered accountancy story where, you know, you're in high school, you have accounting as a subject, you do it in university, you fall in love with it. But I don't have that story. When I started university, I was actually studying to be an actuary.
Oh, wow.
That's all I wanted to do from like grade 10. And I think this is probably a side chat, but I think it's so unfair to make 16-year-olds try to figure out what it is they want to do, because I went to uni and I started doing this and I was like, this is nothing like I imagined, you know, this is not what I wanted to do. So I didn't even do accounting as a subject in high school. That was not even something that I had been exposed to. So university got me my first glimpse into what that would look like. And I really enjoyed it. And I think I probably enjoyed it because it was very new, it was different. And to be good at something that other people had been doing for so long was also quite nice, and it was quite challenging. So I decided to go that route. Ultimately, I am so glad that I did, because I mean, the return on investment has been insane. I am so happy with my ultimate choice, and I wouldn't have things any other way.
So you talked about your return on investment. So how has that been looking post articles for you? What has that return been?
Okay, I'm not going to boil this down to rands and cents, but you know, I studied at UCT, which is notorious for, you know, being very, very expensive. And just sort of reflecting back on it now, it's definitely been quite intense. I think the fact that I've also done a switch from audit to the consulting space has also, you know, increased those returns a bit. But honestly, I don't think I have it any other way. I think I definitely made the right choice.
Nice. So tell us something. You went from being an actuarial science student to becoming a chartered accountant student, and obviously having to do your board exams and whatever else came with that. So how long was your journey to become a chartered accountant? And let's say this starts from your point of becoming a student in actuarial science, and was, like you said, was the entire journey like realizing that actuarial science wasn't for you, moving over to become a chartered accountant, was it worth it?
It was definitely worth it. No question about that, you know. But in terms of the journey, so I started university in 2012. I did the Bachelor of Business Science. And I think what was fortunate is that in my first year, at least at the institution that I was at, everyone did the same subjects. They didn't care if you wanted to be an actuary or an economist. Everyone did the same thing. So that didn't really derail my plan in terms of finishing on time. So I did the Bachelor of Business Science. That was 4 years. I finished that on time in 2015. And then I did my CTA, GDA in 2016, and then started articles in 2017. I know it seems like, everything was like smooth sailing and, was able to complete everything in the time that I wanted to. But it was such a challenging experience. But like you asked, is it worth it? Absolutely. And I think I'm not the type of person to dwell in like what my life could have been like, because what I know is the reality that I'm in, and I'm quite happy with it. So that's just my take on it.
Lovely. You spoke about challenges. Now, we've all experienced these challenges in this qualification. It's not an easy course. It's not for the light at heart, and it's also not for those who don't have the necessary perseverance, patience, and determination to finish, because it's a 7-year-long process.
Yeah.
So, was there any event during these last couple of years that really changed your mindset from going, this is tough, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to do it. Whether it's for myself, whether it's for anyone else.
Yeah.
Was there any event where there was like a switch in your brain that said, no matter what comes my way, I'm getting the CASA?
Yeah. So, I mean, I mentioned the fact that I didn't do, accounting, and I felt as though I probably wouldn't succeed at it because other people had, experience in it. But just some background on, my mental shift, as you mentioned, happened very early on, and I'm so glad about it. But when I was in high school, when I matriculated, I got 5 distinctions, and I was over the moon about this. You couldn't tell me anything. I was that girl.
Well done.
And it was such a great achievement, and I was so proud of myself. And I remember my lecturer in accounting, her name was Carla. We were sitting in the lecture room, and she was congratulating all of us, saying that you guys did so well in matric. And she mentioned that the number of distinctions per capita were 6 on average. The people sitting next to me, it immediately clicked that these people are not only smarter than you, but you are now considered below average. And for someone who had done so well in high school, I was competitive to the bone. I took my academics so seriously, and I just wanted to be the best. And I knew that if I went into uni with that mindset, I would never feel enough. That I would be constantly comparing myself to other people. And I really don't think it's healthy to start this new journey with that mindset. The only person that I had to be competing with is the person I was yesterday, last semester, last year. And that was enough. And that was more important because all these people in my mind had a head start when it came to this career. So I think that was definitely, the mental shift, that 51% had to be enough. And that was it.
Yeah.
That I didn't have to be a superstar, and I didn't have to try and, tear myself down because I wasn't doing as well as I previously did. But that this was the new reality. 51% was enough, and you're going to do great. And I'm finally here. So everything paid off in the end.
Yeah, I really resonate with that because I've seen it so much, not only because I did academical articles as well, and I would see how people would like compare themselves to others, but even when I was a student, and then when you go into the work life and your traineeship, you also see how there's literally this comparison that people have, and maybe you don't have that experience yourself, but you can see other people comparing themselves to you or somebody else, and you can see how detrimental it is for your mental health and
Definitely.
Just for your success at the company, your success at university, and your overall happiness, because regardless of how long it takes, regardless of the challenges, you also need to be partially, and I'm saying partially because you truly only enjoy the experience post articles, but you should still have some enjoyment during it. And just like a side note on that, Ntao, what would you tell the student that is currently sitting there comparing themselves to the person sitting next to them? They're getting, let's say, 46% in class, and there's their friend or somebody else that's getting 55 and meeting the overall average to get into CTA or to pass their board exams. Is there maybe just like a something that you would tell them to motivate them to continue and to change their mindset perhaps?
This is a bit tough because I think everyone has like their individual journey and their individual story, their individual struggles. So I think for number one, like we've established, don't compare yourself, but not comparing yourself doesn't mean you can't learn from your peers as well. One of my current best friends, we studied the same thing, but she went the BCom route. She was literally the smartest person that I knew, right? And it wasn't a thing of like, I'm never going to be better than Dinny, or I'm never going to get the marks that she gets. It was more of like, what can I extract from them? What can I learn from them? What are they doing differently? And having, those open conversations. I think my advice to also university students is that a lot of unis avail to you consultations. Please consult.
Yes.
Just if I could go back and do this all over again, I would consult, because a lot of the times you struggle by yourself. A lot of us accountants and people that are quite technical, we try to just work through the issue. It's just like, let me keep at it. Let me look at this. Someone out there has the answer, and they have the ability to explain it to you in such a simple way. And you can save so much time, by just saying, I don't know. And I'm going to ask someone else and I'm going to find out the answer, So I think that would, number one, be my advice. And for people that are, currently going through the journey, just don't give up. There are so many people. There's the Charnies, the Ntaos. If you could look at my transcript, like you wouldn't believe that I actually made it here, And it's just one of those things where you're going to have ups and downs, and you just need to, at the end of the day, believe in yourself and just remember why you're doing this.
100%. I agree 100% with you with regards to the consultation. Like when I was a student, I would literally put question marks on sticky notes on like almost every single page, and I'd make a list of questions and take it to my lecturer.
Yeah.
I don't understand any of this. You need to explain it. Okay. And it's so important to go for that consultation, because why you're struggling on your own when your lecturer probably has an open door policy. I know that right now it's difficult, you're not face to face with your lecturer, but I am sure that an email or even a Zoom call, they would love to do it. I'm still in touch with my tax lecturer from university, and I know that she's one of those, like, if you're at UWC, you know what I'm talking about. But I am sure that if you ask her a question, you email her, she'll gladly be able to, or willing to get into a call with you. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for that advice, Ntao. I'm sure that there is someone out there, or more than just one person, that really found it valuable. Let's move on to the next question, which is a bit more exciting than the previous question. So you worked so hard, you went through all these challenges, you went through articles, which, as we all know, is not a bed of roses. But at the end of the day, you passed your APC exam, and you were then qualified to become a chartered accountant. Tell us, what was that feeling like?
So that feeling would have been like, what, 2 years ago, if not more. I think I have been an optimistic person my entire life. Call it being naive, but that was the first time where I actually doubted, like serious doubt, where I was just thinking about that exam. Even today, I have nightmares because it was so challenging, and rightfully so, because I think that was one of the first years where the pass mark, or the people that made it, was, I don't know, like 50% or something like that. There was like a significant dip compared to the prior year. So I think at the moment, so how it happened is that we were at Mall of Africa. The firm does a little lunch for you. Results come out at 4 p.m. and at 3:45, you get an envelope, and, everyone hides to their own corners. I was ready to leave. You just be like, I was ready to go home and open this envelope in my car. That's how scared I was, because I didn't want to be that one person. In my mind, I was going to be that one person that didn't make it, and they're like, oh, sorry. And I don't want all of that. So more than anything else, excitement aside, I was relieved. I was so relieved because, like you said, literally this is the last thing. At the time, my training hours had already been met. So that wasn't an issue. My competencies were on track. And I knew that this was the last hurdle, even though it wasn't like the end of the finish line.
Yes.
So relief more than excitement. I think we also got a bonus.
Oh, yes.
And the bad financial planner in me started to spend it mentally. So yeah, maybe excitement on that part. But man, it's so crazy that everything happened so fast. And yeah, horrible exam. Very, very tough. But we're here and we made it. And I'm just glad.
I think that is something that all of us, every single chartered accountant can resonate with, is that, that relief. Of course, we're going to be excited. Of course, we're going to be happy when we pass the exam. But I think it's just an overwhelming feeling of it is finally done. I don't have to look at another psych exam. I don't have to, like push myself through another training year or anything like that. You are finally done, and you can start the process of putting that 4 letters behind your name, which we all desired and almost lust after during those 7 to however many years that it takes us to become a CA. So Ntao, you told us that you wanted to study actuarial science. You then moved on to becoming a chartered accountant. That was what, more than 10 years ago when you made the decision to become an actuary, because you were 16 years old, so it was more than 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed, as we grow older, we mature, we find different interests, we enjoy different things because we experience more of the world. So tell us, if you look back, like from today, you look back onto your life and everything that you experienced, if you could be anything else, any other occupation or anything like that, what would you have ventured into?
So I'm just thinking back to, that shift between leaving XI and doing something different. The 2 options were economics and finance or accounting and finance. So part of me wants to think that I would have definitely, I don't know, been an economist or something like that, or maybe been in more on the finance side rather than accounting. But I think the me today, knowing what I know, if I could go back, I would probably study software engineering, software development. I have a lot of people in my life that are exposed to that and are engaged in that. And I think the big thing that draws me to that is that it's very solutions driven. And I'm a problem solver. I absolutely love doing that. And yeah, I think just based on their accounts in terms of what it is that they do, I think that would probably be a good fit for me. I'm actually trying to learn Python programming currently because I can and I have time. So if I ever had to currently make a pivot in my career, I would definitely go the software development route.
That is so interesting. My sister's actually studied software development, and her job is, her job is quite creative and, like you said, solutions driven. She's always busy, but that it's really something that she enjoys. So knowing you, because little side note, Ntao and I actually work together. So we communicate quite often. And just knowing that side of you and the fact that you're a YouTuber as well, and I'm going to be asking you just to tell us a bit more about your channel and your content. I see that creativity side and also that's the solutions driven side of you come out through that. So definitely I would 100% support you if that was the career pivot that you decided to make in 2023. But Ntao, thank you so much for being on Chats with Charnie. Like I said, Ntao is a YouTuber. So Ntao, please just tell us a bit more about your YouTube channel, the name of your YouTube channel, as well as the type of content that you have. And just tell us a bit more.
All right, so my YouTube channel is called Ntao M, not very creative, but on my channel, we talk all things careers, finance, professional development. I have always wanted to be a YouTuber, but I wanted to be like a lifestyle contenter because I was traveling quite a lot. I didn't mention this earlier, but I was on secondment in Houston and I was going, traveling quite a bit. And I thought that was the path for me. But during the pandemic, I started watching a lot of finance channels. And I started to realize that either, number one, some of the financial solutions they were providing on there didn't cater to South Africans. So I realized that there was a bit of a lots of content, but such a gap and such an opportunity to take from there. And also, I mentioned that I don't know if I mentioned this, but I moved from audit to consulting, and I'm seeing my career from a different lens now, and I just wanted to share that journey as well. And just talk about some of the things that I'm interested in, my life experiences. I have a video on there about the money mistakes that I've made. So very transparent and not afraid to drag myself. And yeah, it's just about people just seeing finance and their careers from a South African angle and perspective.
I definitely think that we need that. I think that there's a lot out there on YouTube, but like you said, it's not catered to the South African market, or rather, I would say the South African mindset and our environment and our culture. Things in South Africa are so much different. What we have access to is more limited than what a European market would have access to, or an American market would have access to. So I commend you for starting that and, helping people here at Chatz with Charnie. We believe in the transfer of knowledge and how important that is to help your younger self, or the version of your younger self, really improve and make better decisions than you made when you were that age. So that is an awesome mission of your channel. And please also tell us, when's your next video going to be posted, or do you have regular videos posted on particular days so that the viewers can maybe just check in on that?
Yeah. So I don't currently have a schedule in terms of dates and times that I post, but the idea is to post on Friday mornings, every Friday morning is the idea. And be sure to subscribe and check those out and share if you're interested.
Yeah, we will definitely be putting some links to a latest video down in the description, as well as an Instagram handle and a LinkedIn handle, as well as a YouTube channel, a link to a YouTube channel, so that you guys can have easy access to that. Again, Ntao, thank you so much for being on Chatz with Charnie. It was great having you on the show and learning on the show, on my channel, and having an insight into your journey, but also learning from you. I think that's really important. Like I said, we believe in the transfer of knowledge to help others make better decisions. And I think what you said about, the competition, about how you felt that you were different from others and that you had that sense of doubt. I think a lot of people feel that as well and have to make the decision of, do I continue with this career path or do I go somewhere else? I've had that decision making myself in my second year, where I didn't know if I wanted to still become a chartered accountant. So I think a lot of people can resonate with what you're saying and can value your input. Just as a last farewell, please just give the viewers a little bit of insight or advice or anything that you'd like to share before we head off.
Oh, putting me on the spot.
What we like doing.
Be cool, stay in school.
It sounds like something Cardi B said at a point in
time. I think, I've touched on a few things, like just making sure that this is a personal journey, understanding that you're enough, not being too hard on yourself. I think maybe that's the key thing. Extend yourself a lot of grace during this process. And I think not even during this process, you'll understand, like for people that aren't CAs yet, it's like a journey, but then there's so much afterwards as well. And I think just don't be too hard on yourself, regardless of what you do with your studies, with work, with the indecisiveness that comes with a lot of things. Just understand that it's just part of the process.
Amen. Amen. Agree 100%. Thanks so much, girl, for being on the channel, and I appreciate
No worries.
and all the best with your journey, with what is yet to come, with your YouTube channel, with work, and have an amazing holiday, because I know that you're going on holiday before me. I know it. So.
3 days. I am counting down the hours to Thursday.
Oh my goodness, enjoy it. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in to Chat with Charnie. Look forward to our next video, and I hope that you really enjoyed the content that we brought today and that you can learn from it. Really learn from both of our experiences and everyone else's experiences that have been on the channel. Ciao.